Hello everybody, my name is Oliver G and this is the Eiffel Tower where we take a deeper dive into the city of Paris. Today I'm going to take you behind the scenes somewhere a little bit special. This building is the residence of the US Ambassador to France. I'm going to show you things in there that even regular visitors probably haven't seen. And if you're a fan of spectacular interiors, there's going to be things for you as well. In terms of having someone show us around, I thought who better than the ambassador herself, Denise Bauer. Why don't we go and see if she's home? Come with me.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Denise.
Welcome.
How are you doing? Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
So glad you're here.
Come in, Harry. This is every time I walk through these front doors, I'm just amazed by how beautiful this apartment house is.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that you're going to show us around some places today that maybe aren't open to the public.
We are. That's the plan.
Can you give me a taste? We're going upstairs?
You're going to go upstairs. You're going to see the presidential bedroom, which has probably from the house the best view. You can see the Eiffel Tower.
No way. Is that looking up the back?
Yes.
And that's not, I mean, I've been to a few events here over the summers and stuff like that. We're not usually allowed to go upstairs.
No, that's usually...
Special treat.
Yes.
So is the idea today, you show me some of these rooms and stuff, but hopefully we can talk a little bit about the history.
Yeah.
And also your history and future. I mean, you're leaving Paris as a Francophile, like a true Francophile. That's got to be some bad news.
Well, I'm leaving the job, which I will miss immensely, but I will certainly not be leaving Paris for a long period. I'll be going back to the US, but Paris will always be in my heart. I've loved this country since I came here for the first time when I was 15. And my husband and I have spent a ton of time here even before I had the job.
Right.
So it will definitely be a part of us, and I hope to stay engaged just in different ways.
Do you think you'll, I mean, it's going to have to be a downgrade wherever you stay when you come next time, right? How are you going to manage that?
I think it's just different. And you know, this house, as you were saying, it is spectacular. And I appreciate it so much, but I also have always thought of it as not really being my house, right? I've never taken that on.
I was wondering about that.
I always say it's America's home.
Yeah.
In France. Yeah. And we have really focused on welcoming people, 10,000 people a year, which is a fabulous number. But more than that, lots of different kinds of people for different events. Yeah. It really is meant to be a welcoming place that celebrates France and the United States and our partnership.
I've been to some of those events. Is the big one the July the 4th?
Yes.
Is that like you knock off like 5,000 of those 10,000 in that one visit? Because that's a big thing, huh?
It's a lot of people. It's probably 2,500 for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Typically, what a party, huh?
Yeah.
That's a lot of beverages.
Well, you've been back there, right? It's packed in.
Except, yeah, it's lovely. But what I'm particularly excited about is seeing upstairs as well, because every time I'm here, I end up taking pictures down below, and I'm wondering if upstairs matches downstairs. So,
well, you will see, and you can give your own assessment.
Should we go and see it?
Absolutely.
Which way?
That way.
Okay, past the Christmas tree.
Let's go.
Like you personally, you live here.
Yes.
Do you live on the very top floor, away from all this action downstairs?
We live on the second floor in France, so one floor above the floor where the presidential bedroom is.
It's complicated between America and France with that, isn't it? Whenever I take people around, I never know what to say. I point. So you're upstairs, not even here.
Not this floor, one floor above.
Right.
It is beautiful where we live, but it's not like this.
What do I have to do as the Eiffel Tower to get the tour of that one? I have to do another 10 years in Paris or something? So which is your favorite room in this whole place? And please tell me it's one that we're going to see as well.
I think it is, actually. It's the Jefferson Library.
Okay, I've heard a little bit
about
this.
Yeah, it's hard to find a favorite because I also really love the Josephine Baker Ballroom, which you are also going to see.
I've heard there's a secret in the Josephine Baker.
There is. Okay. It's a house full of exciting little bits and pieces.
Are there secret doors in here?
not secret
That's
in
a
the
yes.
way.
That's
No,
a yes.
no, not in the way that you would think.
Okay. Here's a question. As we're walking through the corridors, am I allowed to gently lean on panels to see if anything happens? What's the rules with gentle leaning? We're going this way?
Gentle leaning is fine. We're going to go to the presidential bedroom, I think, first.
Goodness me. Goodness me.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Beyond gorgeous, this is the best bedroom I've ever been in. This is the best bedroom I've ever been in. My goodness me. So what's the history on this one?
Well, as I understand it, it was actually designed during Pamela Harriman's time here. And I think she probably had a big hand in the decor, and it's beautiful. And as I think you know, we've had 8 different presidents stay here.
Right.
And one of the things I have to show you, we were talking about the view from here. You can see the Eiffel Tower,
there you
the
go.
Grand Palais, and our bedroom is just directly.
So you got an even better view.
Well, it's just directly above. And the first night we were here, just so overwhelmed and thrilled to have the honor of this job. I looked out the window and saw that, and I told myself that every night, no matter how tired I was just going to take just a second to look and be grateful.
With the flashing as well?
But whenever you see it, it's always gorgeous.
But you know what strikes me is that I love a good Paris view. I don't think I've ever seen a view of the Eiffel Tower over the top of the Grand Palais like that.
Cool.
It's a unique view. Do you remember, have you seen the Mission Impossible where Tom Cruise lands on the roof of the Grand Palais?
Yeah.
That happened right outside your window. I love it. Amazing. What are the rules with you? I know these are weird questions, but it's not often I do. What are the rules? Like, are you allowed to stay in here ever? Is it like the president only and no one else?
No, we've had other guests stay, other dignitaries.
In my mind, it was kind of like only when the president's here do we open this door.
Yes. No, we will occasionally welcome someone else.
Can I sit on the edge of the bed?
Have a seat.
Okay, I'm going to sit on this edge. You sure?
You can bounce if you want.
Okay, I will. Oh, that's a good bed as well.
Do you feel presidential?
Presidential, no, but I felt comfortable. But it is a really lovely room. It's so elegant. The history, I was researching the history of this place, and there's been something here for hundreds of years, but it's only been since the Second World War, more or less.
Yeah, just after the U.S. bought it, and then it didn't become the ambassador's residence until about 51 years ago.
Okay, and since then, was it 15th?
Ambassador? Yeah, I'm the 15th.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got some questions. We'll keep walking maybe and talking.
Absolutely. We're going to go see the Jefferson Library.
Jefferson's a great segue into what I was going to ask you, actually.
Good.
Because as I have read, a lot of US ambassadors that have been in France, especially Jefferson, were really profoundly shaped by their time in Paris.
Yes.
Like with all the, the arts and the science, politics, all this. I wonder if you feel, and I mean separate to you being a Francophile already, has your time as ambassador here shaped you in a way? In a French way?
In a French way.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it has impacted me in many ways. I think the way it shaped me most is all the new friends that I have.
Right.
That hopefully many of those friendships will stay with me for a long time, and the memories of all the things we've done here.
I mean, I guess if you were already, like you've been coming to Paris since you were young, and you'll be coming again. Yeah. I wonder how much the ambassadorial role will change that, or if it's like Paris is in your heart already.
I have loved this country for so long. When our girls were little, we actually, just for a summer, had an apartment on Saint Honoré in the first.
Oh, wow.
So
full circle.
So, some of my fondest memories, we would, I'd teach them French out of a little workbook in the morning. No way. And in the afternoon, we would go do something new and cultural every day.
True.
And then, because it was summer, we would have a picnic in the Tuileries, and the girls would play in the playground, and we would do all of our calls to the U.S.
Wow. How old are the girls now?
Oh, now they're ancient. They're 29 and 26.
Ancient. What does that make me? What does that make you? Okay, but this room, we haven't even talked about it. This is stunning. This has got, I want to write a novel in here. Yeah. And I understand there's some super historical
there
furniture.
Are. So, well, there's an extraordinary book collection, but there's also this book spinner.
Hang on, we can't gloss over an extraordinary book collection. What do you mean? Does it just mean what is this? Are you allowed to read them?
Yeah, you may if you would like. It's Voltaire.
Look at this. Look at these titles. This is great. Okay. It looks like Shakespeare to me.
Yeah, they're really.
That's a beautiful book. That's give it a little push. What happens?
See what's back there?
If you pick up that little chalice, there's something. I feel it is. Okay, but this too.
And this is was designed by Jefferson, and it is so he was so curious, right?
Right.
So you could read multiple books at the same time.
So the idea is it
spins.
Okay, I love it. I love it. So I mean, not exactly. I mean, you could always just pick up another book off the pile. Does this mean he was so like it's like he was so I don't know, like reading 6 books at once, and he didn't have the
that
time
was
to
the
bend
idea
over and
that
pick one
that
up?
he wanted to work on many things at the same
I
time.
wonder if he ever would have guessed that books about him and his own books would be on his own spinner.
And then the chair was also his design.
So when we talk about people like Jefferson, who were ambassadors to France, I mean, yeah, U.S. ambassadors to France so long ago, they weren't actually in this building.
No.
Almost certainly not even, because I don't know if the building was the way it is now back then.
Probably not, yeah.
But his sort of inspiration and designs have made it in here. It's so nice. Yeah. These chairs also his?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, lovely in any case.
Yes.
And what is this room used for?
Actually, John Kerry loves this room.
Really?
And uses it quite frequently. When if he's here doing press or interviews or things like that, he used it a lot. It is a good room for conversation.
Sure. But do you feel like personally, when you want to read a book or something, you come down here, or you kind of like I'm so curious about this ambassadorial residence and how much it is a home and how much it is a display.
Well, there's the saying, home is where your heart is.
Yeah.
I think for us, it's home because our family's here.
Sure.
And so it feels like home.
Yeah.
It is also an official place, and it goes with the job. And so I do think about that side of it a lot too.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but this room is extraordinary, and that's from Jefferson.
Well, as we've been walking around, I've seen all these things on the walls, and I've been like, I kind of want to stop and look at everything. Wow, look at this, with the picture of the Statue of Liberty. Oh man, this could be a whole, the things on the wall of the ambassador's residence.
It's fantastic, it really is. No, and to get to live in a house like this is really something.
I can't even imagine.
Again, just always aware that it's part of the job.
Yeah.
To be in America's home.
You know what? I can relate to it in a really obscure way. Once I stayed at the Le Maurice Hotel, which isn't so far away here from here, but I was kind of doing it for work as well, to share what was inside, and I couldn't appreciate it as it wasn't just a lovely hotel room for the night for sleep, but it was also kind of work. So I know exactly what you mean on a whole different level, but it's given me that that hotel has these kind of vibes as well.
Well, and on the ground floor, when we're not having official events, we do spend time down there, particularly because there's the lovely piano, which I'll be sure to show you. But we use that for official events, the piano, but also for my husband, who loves to play.
What does your husband play?
Mostly jazz and blues.
And there's a lot of connections with Americans playing jazz.
There is
in Paris.
Indeed.
In fact, you mentioned Josephine Baker before.
Yes.
Talking about Americans. I'm jumping ahead, I think.
Well, I'm going to show you that room in just a second.
Is it, besides your husband, I imagine there's some other people who've played on that piano as well.
Lots of people have played on it. And a whole range. Some famous people, but also we have the community music recitals are here. And so the children who are coming in to do their recitals, them on the piano.
Which children? Which children come in and do it?
From the embassy.
What?
So because when they have their recitals.
You know what? Firstly, I love that. You know what else I love? I love that this isn't a room that we even planned on stopping in.
It's amazing, isn't it?
This is like a chamber between two rooms.
Yeah.
This is one of the best rooms I've ever seen.
Isn't it? One more thing that kids who come to visit love.
Okay, now that is what
There is your secret passageway,
I'm gonna have a proper look in here. Where does that go to?
Just goes outside.
Okay, that's what I've been looking for. If there's one, there's more. I know that for sure. I mean, there must be ones that you haven't even found yet.
I'll have to look quickly.
Don't worry, I'll
But no,
help
this
you.
room is so beautiful.
Yeah, it's stunning. It's got the same, there's some people watching at home. There's places like the National Archives have similar rooms to that. It's giving me a little bit of National Archives in there, and that's one of my favorite museums. Can the public come in here besides for the events?
We have tours that we give periodically.
Right.
But it's pretty limited, unfortunately.
What kind of people sign up for those tours? Is it Parisians or Americans in Paris, or?
I think it's a real variety.
Yeah. Okay, here we are.
So here we are, Josephine Baker Ballroom.
Ballroom.
Bam.
Ballroom for dancing?
Yeah.
Really?
That was what it was originally planned for. It was a ballroom.
Okay.
There's a mirrored room on the other side, same.
On the other side of the
house,
yeah.
which is the dining room. But this was originally the ballroom.
Right.
And we named it, during the time I've been here, renamed it the Josephine Baker Ballroom.
You say pointing to a picture of Josephine Baker.
Yes, and this gorgeous portrait of her.
That is a lovely
Which,
portrait.
if you're going to enjoy fun little surprises.
We're doing more secrets? Okay, here we go. The Holy Grail.
A screening room.
Okay. And the idea being you host screenings in here and they shoot something over the back wall?
We can host screening. Try not to break anything.
Just leave it in front really quickly.
Exactly. You can see there's a screen there that comes down.
What sort of things do you screen?
You know, we've done some first-run movies, but then also some documentaries, some classics. We did a great thing recently for a show that is on Netflix now.
Oh, wait. Which one?
Try to think. 6888.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't even heard of it.
Yeah, it's about American women serving in France during World War II. It's fantastic. African American women. It was
okay, I'll check it out. I was thinking as what was it called? Franklin.
Yeah. So we hosted an event here, and Michael Douglas came.
In here?
He was in here, and he was all over the house. He was lovely.
Because he played, for the people who haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but have you seen it?
Yeah.
You did a screening. Okay, of course. He's playing
Franklin.
He's playing Franklin, and they filmed it in Paris. I remember seeing in the Place de Vosges, when they made the Place de Vosges into 200 years ago, or whatever it was. What's he like, Michael Douglas?
He's lovely.
Nice guy. He might be
really
watching.
Nice.
You never know.
Yeah.
Let's keep going this way. Okay, so that's the screening room. Do you, on like Friday nights and stuff, do you just watch Indiana Jones repeats and stuff like that?
You never know what's going to end up there.
Okay.
And that's Madame Pontalba right there.
Is that who the building is named after as well? The building is the Maison Pontalba, is that right? Named after probably the bridge that's over that way, or named after the woman, but the bridge over there.
Named after Madame Pontalba.
Of course. You know what? She's got a bit of Courtney Cox look about her, don't you think?
Yeah.
Courtney Cox from Friends.
Maybe we'll see if we can get her to do a movie on her.
Imagine. Oh, that's a good idea. You heard it here first. But this is just another through room, right? I love this room.
It's gorgeous.
What a treat. But speaking of, did I already ask you your favorite room? Did you say it was the...
Oh, well, we were going back and forth because I couldn't decide.
Because I think this one's mine.
This one's beautiful, and it's got the great piano, and we can host receptions for, 250 people in here if they're good friends.
Yeah.
And
so this is like, you have like a buffet table over there with champagne and so on.
Exactly.
Amuse-bouche or whatever the hors d'oeuvre is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But what a stunning room. Yeah. What's the do you have people that have to polish all the chandeliers and all that kind of stuff?
People work all the time. To take care of the house.
And here's the piano?
And here's the piano.
Who are some of the famous, are you allowed to name drop?
I'm trying to think. It's been more, since I've been here, more friends and family.
Right.
And as I mentioned, my husband plays. So
Can you play?
No, I cannot.
Do you know what I learned
sadly.
before we started filming? I'll show you what I can do.
All right.
This is all I can do. I learned today that...
we'll
leave it at that. I learned today that our cameraman Harry is actually very talented on the piano, so I'm leaving it at that. But Harry maybe will have a jam later.
So I was trying to think of other things that we've done in this room in particular. This has been such an extraordinary period in time for France. While I've been here, I've been so lucky to have the commemorations for the Liberation,
Sure,
80th
80,
anniversary.
yeah.
D-Day itself,
Yeah.
President Biden came, so we hosted events with
Wow.
him here. We've had former President Obama came, and we had cleared out the furniture from this room.
He came when you were here?
Yes, yes, because I served when he was president. So we just had a table here down the center of this room, about 20 people from civil society in France just talking about the partnership between our two countries.
What does Obama, what does he make of Paris?
I think he likes it. He's been here several times. Yeah.
What a lovely room. I have fond memories of this room.
I'm glad.
Just coming in here makes me happy.
Yeah.
Not to mention the other room. Shall we go in that way?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've got a glimpse of the garden. It looks like it might almost be nice enough weather to take a look. But who's this guy?
Good old George.
That's him?
There he is.
George Washington oil on canvas.
Yes. And this one is actually on loan from our friends at Versailles.
At the palace?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, the lovely people allowed us to borrow it because this is a copy. We actually have the original, is generally here, but it's being restored. Okay. So rather than have the blank wall, they very, very generously loaned it to us.
How does that even, we can keep walking because I know this wasn't even a stop, but how does that even work? Like, did you just visit Versailles one day and say, you know, wouldn't mind borrowing that for a couple of years? Or is it, like, how do those things happen?
We have long relationships with a lot of these groups. And I would say relationships that go, you know, way before my time.
Sure.
And as you may know, in the State Department, most people are on a 3-year rotation. But the locally employed staff stay for decades sometimes. So we benefit always from their expertise and knowledge and guidance. And so those start the relationships.
So it's like generational relationships there.
Yeah.
You know, what is this room before we wind things up a little bit?
So this is the dining room.
Okay. Lovely tapestries.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And the reason it's set up like this right now is because Secretary Blinken was here. And so he is great about doing things with the diplomatic community here and with everyone who works at the embassies. So at the end of his official visit, he did a meet and greet with the families and children who work at the embassy.
What about, you know what, I've got 2 last questions before, or as we go out to the garden. What do you want your mark on this place to be? Do you know what I mean? Like, people have left things and left their sort of mark. Is there a way that you want to leave a part of you?
Well, I think hopefully with fond memories and having built a lot of good relationships, there's a program that we've been working on and have launched during my time called Generation 250, which is about providing academic scholarships for undergraduate French students to study in the United States. And given how much my study abroad experience in Paris meant to me, the idea that I can help in some way build those connections for other people is really special.
That's such a good answer, Denise, as well, because if someone asked me a question like that, I'd say, oh, I'd put my children's books on the bookshelf or something. That's why my name is never going to hang around for very long, and yours will. What about, as we go out into the garden, this is a cheeky question.
Yes.
If you were allowed to steal something...
Do I mow my own lawn? Was that going to be the question?
No, cheekier than that. If you were allowed to, well, if you're not allowed to, if you wanted to steal something to take with you from this place as a memory for your life in the United States, what would it be?
I think I would take the dining table on our personal floor, which is the one where we've had so many family meals.
You're a thoughtful lady. I like your answers. They're very nice. And we end up out here in the garden, which, if you're at home, you can imagine on these big parties. Do you do fireworks here still, or is that something?
No, we don't do fireworks.
Okay, I remember I heard whispers of people once upon a time.
I think probably in the past they have.
Those things don't happen so much.
We do a lot of music, a lot of food.
With like big pavilion kind of things set up. So if you can imagine, if you're lucky enough out there in viewerland, this is one of the hot invitations to get in Paris, and a lot of people, when you guys put on these events, I know a lot of people are asking around, finding how they can get in. But for you personally, sort of to end on, does this garden have a significant place of memories in your heart?
Well, you know, I think we've spent so much time here, obviously doing official events, but a couple of things come to mind. Welcoming, you can see there's a driveway here, so welcoming people who pull up in the back, VIPs occasionally.
Yeah.
And then as a family, you know how beautiful and long Paris summers are.
Yes.
So sitting out here in the evenings and enjoying the incredible view and the garden.
Hang on, we've forgotten an important character. What about your dog? What's the dog's name again?
Daisy.
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 This one?
This one, right
Come
here.
here, Daisy.
Come here, little Daisy. Come here, good girl.
Imagine Daisy coming out in this garden and just being like, this is all for me?
Well, she is very old, as you can tell.
Right.
But was a rescue in California and had a very tough start in life.
It's only fitting then.
Well, it is. When we think about, she was in a shelter in California, and we adopted her, and that she ends up here in this beautiful place with this huge yard. As I was saying earlier, our house in California has a very small yard, and when she got here for the first time and walked out, she stopped right there on the steps. I don't think she knew what to do.
It's like this kingdom, this belongs to me.
This belongs to me. And now she's quite comfortable. She likes to do just one lap in the morning and one lap in the evening.
She's got it sorted. Oh, you don't know what's in for you, poor Daisy. Things are about to change. On that note, your time here at the embassy is drawing to an end.
Yes.
What's the one thing from this that you're going to look back on and miss the most? That's my last question.
Oh, the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people.
Definitely.
Well, how lovely. On that note, Denise, thank you so much for having me. It feels like my time at the embassy is drawing to a close, so I might make a move, but I just want to say thank you for being such a lovely host, a gracious host, and a friend of the Eiffel Tower over the years. I'm going to miss you.
Well, I'll miss you too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming. It's always a joy.
Thank you. And Daisy, be good.
Bye.
See you next time. And best of luck in the States.
Thank you.
I hope to see you again in Paris.
Thank you. I will count on it.
Good, great. Bye-bye. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
And so there you have it. The residence of the US Ambassador to France, a building that absolutely everyone should do their best to get into at some point in their life. As for me, I'm going to keep exploring. You're watching the Eiffel Tower. My name is Oliver G. And merci beaucoup and au revoir.